Mic check, mic check.
It's us. We're back. I'm Chelsea, and this is Tony, and you're watching Chelsea and Tony Live. And this episode is brought to you by Squarespace. It's the easiest way to create a beautiful website, blog, portfolio, whatever you want. Squarespace features an elegant interface, beautiful templates, and incredible 24/7 support. So you can try Squarespace at squarespace.com. And you get a free 14-day trial, no credit card needed. If you like it, you can go to squarespace.com/Tony and get 10% off by using the coupon code PHOTONEWS. So there's all that.
Later today, I'll actually add a picture to my portfolio, and I'll show you just how easy it is to do it on Squarespace.
Dang, that sounds
right?
Useful and fun.
What are you drinking today, Chels?
I made everyone in the studio, sorry, Siobhan, a pisco sour. I learned how to make it in Peru, so I guess I know things now.
Yep, pisco is the Peruvian national drink or something. It's made from grapes. It's kind of like vodka. And this has an egg white in it and then some, basically lime juice. We don't really have the type of fruit they use, the South American lemon they call it. And then some simple sugars. And you shake it up so it gets all foamy.
Yes, the foam is
delicious.
key.
And then Justin and I have a special beer called Nuevo Mundo, which is the super dark beer from Peru.
It's really good. It's
delicious.
Surprisingly smooth for dark beer.
There are two ways to communicate with us. You can, if you're watching live, you can type in the comments, and our screener, Siobhan in Philly, hey, Siobhan, if she liked your comment, she will read it to us at various points throughout the show. So you can ask questions directly in the comments. You can also use Twitter, #TCLive. Justin, our producer over there, will throw it up on the screen, assuming he's still sober enough to do his job after these pisco sours.
Today, so
We'll take care of that?
Sure.
Okay.
And we'll also be commenting and critiquing those. Soon, tomorrow, I'm going to be recording a video on how to edit a black and white portrait in Lightroom. So that should be out in the next few days. So you should keep your eye out for that. And yeah, next week, black and white photos. Tony has a poll. The best destination for photographers. So go to sdp.io/poll26 and tell us the best destinations. And I think by best destinations, he means the best place to take pictures, probably a fun place to go. You know, maybe you could meet other sexy photographers there. If I had to guess what he meant, it would be that.
Oh, regarding the poll, I want to make sure it's not where you live. Because we asked people where we should go on Twitter, and everybody just stated the country that they're from. You should come visit us in Switzerland.
I live in Westville.
Yeah, and that's nice that people want us to visit them and they love where they live, but we're looking for something a little less biased. So some place you visited outside your own country. That's what I'm asking.
Machu Picchu.
Oh yeah, we're going to start by showing off some of our pictures.
Do you think people will critique them?
Yeah, we don't want that. I know you're dying to tell us, but...
Oh, some of these are unedited then.
Yeah, that could be. This is just a nice picture taken with the Metacon 50mm. Just nice colors, and I like the background blur. Just a sample of local colors. These are the dyes that they use to give color to their alpaca fur or llama fur, whichever.
These are our friends.
There she is making some stuff. Oh,
Hey, I'm driving now.
you're driving.
This is a beautiful mountain. Wow.
The Andes.
This is Motorcycle Mountain in Peru. This is my house, my vacation house in Peru.
Oh, we got such beautiful God rays that first day when we went to Machu Picchu. When you have this really thick air and a dark background like these mountains in shadow, you'll see these kind of God rays that you see coming off the right.
These are all the people and my pet llama.
You got to have a llama in your Machu Picchu pictures.
This is my llama. Cool. Look at that burst of sun.
Yeah.
This is my husband.
That's me.
He wears a hat.
It's cold up there and then it gets very hot. The air is very thin.
Yeah. Ooh. First
Just
time seeing
another-
some of these. Beautiful. Wow. Are you a professional photographer? This is
before
Tony's
we-
panorama. What?
Yeah, I wanted to just show this off. This is a 125 megapixel panorama, but Look at this. I'll zoom in here. Look at that dude.
He looks like the killer from American Horror Story.
I more just wanted to show off the detail of the picture as I zoom back. That's crazy detail, right?
Yeah, that is
to
crazy.
zoom in and see that dude over there. That's like a 10 millimeter equivalent because I had to shoot a 12 picture panorama with the A7R too.
This is also Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu. That's my butt.
That's
this
your butt.
guy, this
an Australian guy. I was
like,
taking this picture and what did he say?
He was like, she's got a nice bum. Which is true. I saw this guy and I was like, are you for real? You belong here. Cool. All right. This kid, these kids, Christ, man, guy, lady, arch. That's it. I don't want to bore people with our vacation pictures.
People asked to see the pictures. Hopefully they saw them as you flip through there. Justin, you can roll those time lapses if you haven't had a chance yet.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kind of into time lapses now. It's my new thing, so I just collected a few and wanted to show them off.
I think like one individual person's cute, but when you have to look at a lot of them like that, you're just like, whoa, it's getting out of control.
A lot of people?
Yeah. It's like when you see a mouse and you're like,
lapses.
that mouse is cute, and you see 50 mice and you're like, whoa, we need to get rid of these.
Yeah, it's funny in the time lapses, when I'm there looking at them, I don't just see people. But when you look at the time lapses, because the people are what's moving, it just looks like everything's covered in people. And Machu Picchu is just covered in people. It really is.
Yeah, it really is.
That's the thing. You got to get there super early. So everybody literally gets in line for the shuttles at 4 a.m. So you go out at 4 a.m., 2 hours before the sunrise, and there's a long line of people waiting for the bus that doesn't leave until 5:30 to get to the park that doesn't open until 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And then you get there, even if you've done all that, you get there, it's covered in people somehow because everybody's waiting for the buses.
Yeah.
It's a crowded place, but fantastic.
Still
Definitely worth
beautiful.
a visit. I recommend it to everybody. One of the most beautiful places I've ever been. I kind of want to say the most beautiful place, but I would have to think about that more. I put a picture up on 500 pics, and I could use some help getting ratings. I'm just going to show. I'm just going to flat out ask people to give me a like and a favorite. Go to stp.io/mpsunrise.
This is real life right now.
Yeah. And just give me a like and a favorite. We gotta.
Oh my God.
We gotta just get me past all those boobs. How am I gonna compete with boobs on 500 pics? The whole front page is boobs.
You should have done a time lapse of boobs. This is your own fault.
Yeah, it is bad, but I know the audience isn't really like, yeah, down with boobs. How are we gonna defeat boobs? I need your help. I wanted to follow up from our last episode, which was 2 weeks ago, where we reviewed action photos, and one of our readers, Chris Hitchcock, sent in a picture, and I read his watermark, and I associated the S in his first name with Hitchcock, so I misread it.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to follow up. He had a good sense of humor about it.
He did. He
We
was a
really
good sport.
butchered his last name.
Oh yeah.
Really bad. Maybe you can see it there if you put the S with the last name. He changed his watermark.
Chris Hitchcock.
Now so clearly says Chris Hitchcock, and there's no way anybody would say anything terrible and filthy about his name.
Chris Hitchcocks?
Something like that. Some photo news while people submit their landscape photos to us.
What?
At northup.photo/submit.
What is it? What is the news?
From Sony Alpha Rumors, DxOMark just announced the scores of the A7R II, and it did well. Not quite the dynamic range of the Nikon, but they gave said it had a little bit less noise than the Nikon, which is not exactly what we found.
Yeah.
We found it had a little more noise, but maybe their algorithm doesn't match exactly the way we visually perceive noise. Could just be that.
Instagram.
This is kind of big news because Instagram's the single biggest photo sharing site. It's big for all photographers, casual or professional. They now allow portrait and landscape videos, so not everything has to be square. And this is big news for me.
That makes so much sense.
I don't know. I always that was one of the things I liked about Instagram was it forced me to think about the composition differently. And I often shot pictures specifically for Instagram. I would basically have to shoot wider to accommodate for being able to crop the sides in so much to make it square.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there were pictures that I wanted to share on Instagram that I couldn't because I didn't shoot them square. So now you can finally
Well, you
share
just have
those.
to add space around them, but then it looks ugly.
And then it does look ugly. Yeah. So now you can just put them up natively, and it looks.
How? I
seems to
tried
look
to do
fine
it.
in the app. Oh, it worked for me.
Oh.
Anyway, you should look us both up. You have to, when you select it, you have to pinch it to like zoom it back in. So by default, it will still be square, but you can pinch it and pick something out different. And look us both up on Instagram, Chelsea and Tony Northup, different accounts. Chelsea, this is you in Bangalore, India.
Yeah, one of our stunners shared this, and I just wanted to show people how cool I am next to motorcycles. So, guess you guys are impressed. Canon. What about it?
I'm just going to let you take this one.
Whoa, 35 millimeters f1.4. Dang.
It's a new version of their 35 millimeter prime. It's just sharper, and there's some magical blue spectrum refractive optics, but it's sharper. And if you are a prime shooter, I don't really use primes all that often. I generally, for the type of shooting we do, I like being able to adapt and change focal length. So I'm kind of a zoom person, but
I like manual primes in the dark.
Well, for night photography, yeah, those fast primes, you kind of need the extra speed. But yeah, we use those Rokinon lenses. They're cheaper and they're sharp, and it's all manual. Other photo news. Olympus announced the EM10 Mark II, and it's slightly better, and I don't know. Cool. We really like the original EM10. I'm sure this one is great. There's nothing exciting about it.
Still cute.
Yeah, it's still cute. It's still cool.
What's this?
GRIN, NASA released, I forget what it stands for, but NASA released a ton of amazing pictures. Amazing pictures. I love airplanes and stuff, so I just took my favorite pictures and put them in here. Here's a collection of a bunch of experimental planes. Some of the photography is just remarkable. Like the storytelling and composition of this picture, just beautiful. And not to mention the history of it. Like, look at this crazy looking airplane. It doesn't have any wings. This is a crashed X something airplane. Crazy, right, Justin? I knew you would like this, Justin. I wanted to.
Yeah, we saw that thing in DC.
Yeah, we did. It must have been either they recovered it or it was a different copy. This is just a beautiful picture. It looks like an Apache. There's a space shuttle being hauled from place to place. Remember when you used to do that? That's how we used to get into space.
Yeah, but I didn't know that planes could do that. Doesn't that make you question why they charge you more for your luggage? It's like you could haul a whole spaceship, but you can't take my Pisco? Can't carry another bag?
This dad joke was brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one hosting provider. Look at this nice composition. It got down a little bit low, so the guy's head broke the horizon, adding some depth. Just a beautiful picture, and on the moon. Like, how can you beat that? Just an awesome collection of airplanes, and again, storytelling included the parachute in the foreground. Look at that crazy airplane. There's a person inside that. Space shuttle,
plant,
birds, just seagulls who are probably like, what the hell is going on? They're probably fired a rocket off to test it.
They think that's a giant French fry. They're like, get it. That's amazing.
Yeah, look at that. And is this your favorite airplane, Chels?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a 70 something.
Never been so ashamed.
This
is the Lockheed Skunkworks SR-71. Goes like Mach 5 and flies super high.
Physically hurting me right now.
This was designed in the 60s? In the 60s. How amazing.
Spousal abuse.
That's like, it's really old technology.
Next show, I'm going to do a whole bra slideshow.
All right.
Talk about the nerdiest thing we've ever witnessed, which was Tony and Justin geeking out at the Air and Space Museum.
It was so cute that Siobhan and I actually tracked you guys down and just watched you from afar. Because you guys were just nerding out. You were like, oh my God, that plane. We were like, look at them. So
I was
adorable.
so excited to be there.
They were so excited.
I am going to import some pictures so we can look at it. Oh, wait. Screen photos.
You guys really like planes. How did you do that? Like, how did that start? How did you get into that?
How did I get into that? Well, my dad was in the Air Force, so in my young years we were on an Air Force base. These do not look like landscape photos.
No.
Siobhan, you've got a chance to screen some photos, right?
Yeah, I cleared out the old ones.
Oh, crap! I wonder if my Dropbox is not syncing correctly or something. Crap.
Always something new and exciting on our live show.
There's one landscape photo. That's a great shot, right?
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like it could use a little more contrast.
Me too. We agree on that.
Even just looking at the histogram, you can see there's almost no blacks in
Blacks.
there. So yeah, we kind of just want to
You
bring
can
out a
press
little more of
Alt
that
and make sure
contrast.
and see how much you're getting in
Yeah,
there.
hold down the Alt key. You can see just where you're clipping. You don't want to clip too much to lose detail, but I think that helps it a lot. I clearly have some troubleshooting to do. I'll try to re-import now. Siobhan, do you have any questions or comments for us?
Siobhan.
Yes.
Okay. What are they?
Let's see. Victor wants to know how his dream trip went, which I'm assuming means to Machu Picchu.
Victor was lovely. You'll have to come with us next time. It was really fun.
Can you get everywhere in Machu Picchu, or is it the most scenic part off limits because there are never people in those shots?
No, there's a ton of people there. I think I edited out a lot of people, and I think most people must do that too. That or they show up very early. Yeah, there's always people there, and you can go to every part of Machu Picchu.
Good to know.
I think our dog is outside.
Kyle Wolf asks, are there any actual advantages to using a graduated ND filter over just adding a graduated exposure adjustment in Lightroom or Photoshop? I'm buying a Lee filter system, so I want to know if a grad is. That's not a sentence.
Yeah, I personally don't use the graduated ND filters. I would rather, well, first, if your raw file can capture all the dynamic range, then you could always do it in post and recover it in post. If not, you could bracket your shots and combine them into HDR to extend that dynamic range. Lightroom can do that in just a couple of clicks.
Yeah.
Some people find it easier to just use the grad ND so they don't have to go back and do any post-processing. We found that when we talked to the real estate guy. Why am I forgetting his name?
Don Bauer.
Don Bauer. That was just his preference, and just because he was a working pro, and he just found it a hair quicker to do it with a grad ND filter. But for me, I'd rather just do it in post, because I hate carrying those extra things and pulling them out and getting them lined up. I'd rather do stuff later than have to fuss with
for
it
me,
at the time.
it's a few presses of a button to get bracketing.
Yeah.
And it's easier for me to just put on the bracketing and do it there and then combine them in post. And even in post, it doesn't take me long just to blend a few layers. So
Yeah, so that's our opinion. Just do it in post. Okay, we have a couple of landscape photos we can look at. This first one, just a fantastic mood in it, right?
yes,
Just
but
haunting.
I think that we need to bring up the whites a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know why. If you look at the histogram, they've left off just the most bright part of the whites.
Is mine?
Is your mouse where though?
No. Ready?
Yeah.
Alt, and then.
Yeah, just have some spot of white in there. It doesn't need to be too much.
And then the same with the blacks.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the before and after. And you can see that it just brightens up the picture a little.
Looks good. Great shot. I give it a pick. What do you think about putting the tree closer to the edge?
I like it where it is.
I don't know why I asked, because I'm doing it anyway.
Well, no.
No?
A little bit oversaturated.
Yeah. A little
This
much.
grass, that,
And over sharpened or something?
hold on. But I do
Quarter of a
love the
second.
composition, this winding road. I love the fences. I like the scene. It looks like moist and lush and foggy and really pretty.
Yeah, I'm sorry we jumped on the editing
But,
point. So I
but
just
that's a
toned it
good
down
point. I
little
mean,
bit.
that's the first thing that we saw.
It is the first thing that we saw.
So you could go with a little more natural green. and I think that looks better.
Also, my eye went right to that. What is that?
Just
Anybody? Has anybody ever seen anything like that?
Justin thinks it's hilarious. What is it? A tree bag.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that. Well, not us, but you get rid of that.
Yeah, go ahead and clone that out, unless
But I like that
that's kind
picture
of
a
the
lot.
focal point. Oh, this is gorgeous. Stars make such a fantastic, just compositional element, and so this is a 5-minute exposure, and that's what gave you that long line for the stars, because of course the Earth is spinning.
Just get rid of this here.
Yeah, I think they've cropped it, and so their lens had a little bit of vignetting. That's why we see that dark upper right corner. But then they cropped it so that the vignetting isn't even.
I gave it 5 stars.
Yeah, I agree.
And I gave it a pick.
But there's an easy way to fix this. First, you remove the vignetting with lens correction. So you turn on these lens corrections. It won't work properly because I don't have the original file. And that will fix the vignetting. And then if you want vignetting, you go down here and you add it back in. That way it's proper. It looks natural after you've cropped it.
Okay. Good tip.
Fantastic picture, perfect exposure.
Ooh, look at this.
Another beautiful picture,
look at those
yeah.
clouds.
I want to say it feels a little underexposed to me. I would maybe brighten it up a hair. It's a minor point. It's a fantastic picture, and really it doesn't need anything. I can't. It's a little right heavy compositionally. I wish there was something over on the left, like the sun was setting over on the left, but I think it's a fantastic scene. There's nothing really you could do about that. You could stick a llama there.
Yeah.
A llama would be perfect.
I could
Or a cowboy.
Photoshop my llama into that, but I'm going to give that 5 stars. I love it. Ooh. Stars. Let's cool these stars off.
Yeah, that's something I almost always end up doing, because city lights, they're this mix of like halogen and other lights that end up yellow, orange, and green, various shades of that. And that's what floods the sky, or these city lights. So the night sky always ends up looking orange, and they just find it looks better blue, even though it's not really natural.
So I think they captured some stars, but then I would want this foreground to be something of interest.
Yeah, it's good to put something in the foreground on a star photo. I'll also say it looks like neither the foreground nor the background are in focus.
That could be really difficult when you're taking night pictures.
Oh, it's so hard to get the stars in focus. Modern cameras have a very bright live view, and you can turn on live view or look through your electronic viewfinder of a mirrorless camera and zoom right in 1:1 and then focus manually. But with older SLRs, you can't see anything. It's just too dark. So you end up having to take like a 30-second exposure of the stars, zoom in 1:1 and realize, oh, you missed focus. And then you adjust focus manually a tiny bit and then reshoot.
Miserable.
It's so much easier with the modern cameras. Wow.
Ooh.
Awesome shot.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm giving that one a pick just because I've
cool.
spent so much time trying to get good thunderstorm pictures and I haven't succeeded, and this person nailed it.
That's it.
Yeah,
Show's
we're having
over.
some issue with the importing, so I'll try to import some more, and we'll toss it back to Siobhan. Maybe you have...
Siobhan may have questions for us.
I do.
What are they?
Were you summoning me now?
I'm summoning
Yeah.
Siobhan.
And Siobhan, for some reason, you're dropping the photos into the screen photos folder, right?
I am.
I'm sure, just like you always do. I'm not seeing anything there, so why don't you just leave them on the incoming, and then I'll just have to sort through them here, because I can see them in the incoming folder, but not in the screen folder photos folder. They're just disappearing for me.
Okay, you want me to move them back?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
When I'm not reading questions. Oh, this is a good one. Tony, what is your favorite part about Chelsea?
Her sense of humor. That's what initially attracted me to her. We met online and she did not have a picture up, so she's beautiful, but I did not know that initially. And she'd written something funny, and I was so sick of looking at these profiles of chicks who are all like, I love hiking and the Red Sox, and just text me if you want to know more. And they just give you no information, and they said the same thing, and they were just humorless. And you just wrote this bizarre and completely just off-putting essay. It was funny. So That's a long story for a short answer.
I know.
a sense
I
of
said I
humor.
had the body of Philip Seymour Hoffman, and you were like, I need to get on that.
Mm-hmm. She knows what the guy's like.
I do. I know how to get the men's. Any more, Siobhan?
Yeah. Did you
are
move
you
those
laughing
pictures
at,
over?
I'm trying to. It doesn't give me the option, so I moved it into drop it to me. We'll see if that works.
Drop it to me.
That is a file in your Dropbox, John. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Drop it to me.
Do you know that I named a picture, I don't know if I should say Cocksucker Bridge?
Yes, and it showed up in our book.
And it showed up in our book, but then also Tony was doing work for Microsoft, and he was doing screencasts, and it showed up in the screencast, and his editors had to be like, could you take out that thing? I like sabotaged his whole career with that picture.
Okay, obviously those are not the pictures. Hold on.
This is cray.
Okay, I'm just gonna open up the Dropbox website. If you can pitch another question to Chelsea, and I'll see if I can get this. We'll do it manually.
All right, let's see.
Live TV.
It's
Stuff
live.
breaks.
What's your favorite Morrissey song?
Oh, I don't know
No, I
any.
didn't know if you guys were Smith's listeners.
I know who Morrissey is. I actually know
What about
more
you, Justin?
about him. How about you, Justin?
Yeah, like Chelsea, I know about Morrissey, but didn't really care about the Smiths, unfortunately.
How about you,
guys,
Siobhan?
I'll help you. Were you able to sneak that tiny baby tripod into Machu Picchu?
We did, and
Oh,
some
yeah.
guys walked by and they were like, I have one of those, but I never use it. When you go out and you take pictures, like the other photographers always look at your stuff. It's so weird. Actually, the other male photographers always look at your stuff. I've never had a female photographer care about my gear, but the guys will always look and just be like sizing you up. It's really funny. I just think that's cute. Anything else?
That is cute.
It is cute.
Someone wants to know if you could get a 360-degree camera in the studio so they can look around during the live show. But those don't work live.
No. I don't. How would we do that? Is there a way to live stream a 360 camera?
That sounds awesome.
Actually, I love that idea. I think that would be super cool.
Couldn't we just put one of these on a turning table?
Yeah.
Oh, just have it constantly spinning around?
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah. Okay, looks like that's happening. They would be like,
You would just see us and then a bunch of sound foam,
they'd be like sound
acoustic foam. I am downloading those
Tell me more,
approved
Siobhan.
landscape
Just
photos
tell
now.
me.
It'll just take a sec.
Okay, good. Let's see. Have you ever recommended gear that you've never used before?
No.
I mean, sometimes there's something that I know of. Like somebody will ask me, what lens should I get? And I'll be like, there's this lens that exists.
Yeah.
I haven't used everything out there.
But we never act like we've used it.
No, I would never misrepresent myself. Yeah.
I knew that.
You did know that.
When shooting landscapes, does your choice of lens affect dynamic range?
It'll affect contrast. So some lenses they take the light in and they bounce a little bit of it around. So everything ends up a little more gray than it should be. So in that way.
So no.
Not really, yeah.
Let's see. We're running out of questions. Do you prefer the 24-70 or the 24-105 for Nikon versus the Sigma art lens?
Oh,
I like the Sigma.
yeah, I mean, we tested the 24-70 f2.8, but I love the extra range from 70 to 105 millimeters. It's so useful. Use it all the time, and you actually get shallower depth of field at 105 f4 than you do at 70 f2.8. So it's good for like a quick headshot even. You
Yeah.
can get nice portraits out of it.
It's a diverse lens.
Yeah, and you don't, I just don't, I would rather have the extra range than the extra stop. So it's a choice. I'm still downloading these photos. 640 megabytes already. I don't know how many photos we have. I just went to download them all.
By the time we get them, the show's going to be over.
Yeah, is it gigabytes? It's not that many photos.
This is crazy today.
There are a lot. People love
They
landscapes.
do.
It's kind of the sweet spot.
Next week is going to be crazy too because you can make any picture black and white, and they will.
Okay, we can look at a couple of photos
Oh,
this
you know what
way.
we should do for next week is that they could submit within one picture. You can combine the two pictures and do it in color and black and white if you want to know which one looks better. Because sometimes I'm not sure if it looks better in color or black and white.
Okay.
We'll do that. Oh my gosh, that's so much fun.
Well, here's a photo from DMC Photography.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. Oh, I can zoom in. I feel like it needs more contrast too. We don't have this in Lightroom, so we can't do the edits. But I would definitely just up the contrast a little bit, maybe even bump up the clarity.
It's nice.
And otherwise, I think it's really nice.
Love those colors. Wow, this is different today.
Oh, look, it's finally ready. So let me just. Sorry, I need another second to actually
How
get
about
this
I
working.
ask Justin questions? Justin, what's your favorite thing about Tony?
I appreciate his intelligence. I think it's pretty crazy. He wrote a bunch of Microsoft books, and he's a professional photographer. That's pretty cool.
Why, thank you, Justin.
That's a really sweet answer. I thought you were going to say his hair.
You know what I like most about Justin? The guy's
He knows
the most
everything.
sincere and honest guy I've ever known. He's just hardworking, sincere, and honest.
Yeah.
And extremely helpful. And he does also know all the science,
He knows
which is
everything.
fantastic. That's my second favorite.
This is a very special episode.
It's like,
This is like a Christmas special. Guys, what do we all love about Siobhan?
Yeah.
that's okay. I got the photos working.
Please don't do this. Thank you. Keep going.
I love her smile. This is so touching. It might not be safe for work unless you love crying in front of your coworker.
This is a beautiful snowy landscape. And they kind of use the road as a compositional element here. It draws your eyes right back, and you have this cluster of trees back there, which rewards you as you follow it. Beautiful color. They made the white balance a little bit blue, which feels cool. And your eye doesn't necessarily see it that blue, but I think it feels natural, so I agree with that. Yeah, you're making sure that there is some bright point of white, and snow will almost always make your camera underexpose it. It looked okay to me, but you're right, a little bit brighter helps.
I really love it.
Yeah, that was all right, we'll give that one a pick.
Yeah, give it 5 stars for me.
And 5 stars, all right. Wow.
Wow. I'm going to raise the exposure on this a little.
You know what can help make that sun pop is bumping up the clarity. Maybe it didn't help so much. Maybe bringing down the highlights would help. I just want a little more detail to that sun. I will give you a hint, a tip about shooting into the sun. If you use the highest f-stop number, you're shooting at f7, but if you shot at f22 or something, the sun would turn into this beautiful starburst.
I sometimes don't like that thing.
You're right, it can be a little much.
Because if you have a soft, peaceful landscape and then you have this crazy, intense sun, it can be fighting the mood of your picture. It
would instantly become the focal point.
I think that it would work well in a desert scene where you're trying to convey oppressive heat. That's when I would use that.
Maybe they tried that and they didn't like it. Anyway, I think
you cropped it too? Ooh.
the dogs or wolves or whatever are kind of the focal point here.
Wolves.
But
They just have a
beautiful
pack
shot.
of wolves. Oh, this is lovely. What is it? Oh, a snaggled up fence?
I assume some sort of netting for fishing, maybe? Yeah, it's a nice shot. It adds
I
a
like
nice
it.
focal point. I like the
5
panorama.
stars. Oh. So this looks a little dark. Hold on.
Yeah, you're going to raise those shadows a little bit. This is actually a place where a graduated filter, either when you're taking the picture or afterwards, could help. I can show you how to do that.
Okay.
I'll also say the money shot is not from this hillside.
Oh, don't use that word, though.
It's the term money shot just means that's where you get your money from. That's a shot you could sell.
Yeah. That's what I thought.
Yeah, so you want the money shot, and the money shot is getting down the hill a little bit so that this archway breaks the line of the horizon. You just get a little, and that just adds so much depth to it. Because right now you don't have much depth. You have just layers, but there's no overlap. Chelsea's throwing in that graduated
filter just to bring out your sky a little.
Yeah, so there you go. So that just smoothly blends it in. She's just dropping the exposure on it. Adds more color, makes it look natural and wouldn't be detected. That's way easier than trying to carry around a stupid Coke and filter. Great shot.
Cool shot. We liked it.
Ah, this is beautiful. And look, as if on cue, they broke the line of the horizon with the foreground subject, and you can see just how much depth that adds. They had to crouch down a little bit to do it, but that's what you do. You raise yourself up or down until the foreground subject breaks the line of the horizon. Makes a huge difference.
You do.
Yeah, I was pondering the color temperature of it too, maybe making it a little bit cooler, but I'm not sure. Yeah, a little cooler I like. Beautiful shot. I love the that you can see the rocks through the water. I'm giving that one a pick too.
I was confused about that one.
You're confused about this one?
Because it's like the colors are so muted, but not quite muted enough. But
I like it.
I feel like
I like this pisco sour.
They could do something to it, but I liked it. This is nice.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I kind of want to crop it. I kind of want to see that horizon line closer to the top.
I would like to see it at, like here.
Yeah, just the rule of thirds I think works here.
Because that balances the picture a little better to me.
Yeah, I just feel like it's more balanced.
And warm,
you're right.
and this is and then you're focusing more on the texture.
I'll also say you can just crank up the noise reduction in the shot because there's not a lot of detail, but the noise is distracting. So in a shot like this, just crank it right up. That'll smooth everything out, and the smoothness is important. The texture is important to the mood of this photo, so don't let noise detract from that. Oh, it's in the Philippines. Beautiful shot. I love the dynamic range here. So much contrast. One thing that you notice as a landscape photographer is that the movement of the clouds drastically change everything. Not just the clouds in the sky, but the clouds themselves cast shadows on these big landscapes. So you can sit in one spot, especially if you do a time lapse, you notice this, and the clouds just move across the scene. And so sometimes timing your shot with the movement of the clouds can make all the difference. So here, most of the mountains are in shadow from the clouds, but there's a spotlight of light on the town, which is perfect because it just gives it that extra visual weight because it's lit.
It's really nice.
Fantastic shot.
Oh, you give it a pick? I was going to give it a pick.
Okay, I'll give it 5 stars for you.
This is nice. I might actually put the horizon more like here.
Yeah, this photo needs something. It needs a sailboat going past, or a crescent moon, or a flock of birds. It just needs one other thing. But it's a beautiful scene just waiting for something. You could just camp out and, I don't know, hope a beautiful woman walks up the beach, or...
Don't we all? All right, stupid joke. Let's keep moving. Oh.
A nice long exposure that really smoothed out the water down there.
I want to see more of that, though. Let's try a graduated filter this
Yeah, it just needs to be brightened up some. Yeah, this, perfect.
Yeah.
Look how much of a difference that made.
Oops.
Yeah, it was a beautiful shot to begin with. It's just, the dynamic range of your camera doesn't match the dynamic range of your eye, so the water ended up being darker than it probably actually was. But bringing that up, beautiful layers. I'm giving that one a pick too. We see so many great shots today.
Well, our viewers are really good at landscapes. Ooh.
It's a beautiful shot, but right away I was caught off guard because things seem a little bit unsharp, and I'm not sure.
Something's weird.
Why things are unsharp.
Is it cropped a lot?
I don't think so. It seems plenty large. Anyway, there's something unsharp about it. I don't know why you're
I
at
like it in
ISO
black and white.
1000. Yeah, that helps. It might just be unsharp because it was shot with a super zoom and at ISO 1000. In fact, I think it was shot with a full frame super zoom on a crop body.
Yeah.
It's kind of worst case scenario for sharpness, and f22 would introduce a whole lot of diffraction. So there's a few things fighting against getting a sharp picture here, and the high ISO.
All right. I think I like it in black and white.
Good.
Good for me.
Another.
Oh, you know what I want to do to this one?
What do you want to do?
Dehaze it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We like that dehaze tool. I've been using it quite a bit. It seems almost exactly the same as upping
The contrast?
clarity and
Yeah.
saturation a little bit, but
Yeah, but they
either
made
way.
a cool name and a slider, so.
Beautiful.
We know
Beautiful
where
shot of
this
Seattle.
is.
Yeah, the Space
London.
Needle. That's Big Ben, they call it.
Big
The
Ben.
old Big Ben.
They call it that because it's big. See, these other buildings are small.
So I can tell you they shot this at sunrise or sunset, and the sun was behind their right shoulder. And that timing makes all the difference. They also, as luck would have it, got cloudy, dark skies in Seattle, which provided a great deal of contrast. I love it when the sky is darker than
Which
the
one do you
earth.
like?
I would combine them. I would keep the blue sky and keep the warm tones of the foreground.
We can do this.
Yeah.
We can do this with a graduated
Split
filter.
toning maybe? Oh.
And then instead of changing the exposure, you change the warmth. And
Nicely
then
done.
you're like, dang, Chelsea is
Dang,
why
Chelsea.
I watched this. 5 stars. 4 for you,
I feel
1
like-
for me. Where is this?
Is that the Golden Gate Bridge or no? I don't recognize the angle.
Where's Michelle? Where's Danny Tanner?
I don't think it is the, I don't know. This is another picture that would benefit from getting down a little lower so that the bridge broke the line of the horizon. I also feel like it could just use something else, like some fog rolling in.
I can do that. I can.
Perfect, Chelsea, you
Whoa,
nailed that.
this must be San Francisco.
How's that pisco sour treating you?
I'm not even drunk. I don't know. You know how I get.
A beautiful, stunning shot. This has the fog. This is exactly what we were just asking
Copycat.
for.
A little over sharpened since I'm being critical today.
Yeah, I think
It's a little much.
maybe they've HDR'd it a bit, but that doesn't bother me. I like it. I love the fog there. I think it's
I like it
beautiful.
too.
Give it a pick.
I give it a
I'm
5
tempted to
stars.
move the horizon up a little by cropping, but
You would.
okay. This is a wide panorama, and I'm immediately bothered that some of the trees are clipping the top. I wish the panorama were a little bit taller.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was shot by a panorama, as a panorama, or if it were cropped. But either way, I'd like to see the tops of the trees.
Okay.
Otherwise, I think it's a beautiful scene. I also feel like,
What?
this bridge as a compositional element should be closer to the edge, just to add a little more interest. And it might also, again, need a focal point in there.
Okay.
Speaking of focal point, nice blue boat. They found something, they put it in the foreground, and they shot with what looks like a super wide angle lens, 21 millimeters on a full frame body.
What should I do to this?
What
Give
could
me a
you do to
job.
it? It looks perfect. I'm tempted to up the contrast just a little bit. I see. You want to add a little more visual weight by
No, I was gonna make.
just make it foggy?
I was gonna make the blue boat more blue.
Oh, okay.
Just I needed something to do.
Gorgeous shot.
Gorgeous.
Pick.
5. I see some natural framing, but it's more frame than picture. Do you see what I'm saying, Tony?
Distracting. I like your thought of going vertical with that. I like that a lot. Nicely done, Chelsea. And the
feel like-
original photographer deserves a little bit of credit.
No.
Take it with an Alpha 77 Sony camera.
Oh, this is lovely.
Beautiful colors. The complementary warm foreground and deep blue sky are just perfect. That's kind of why we love the golden hour, even though I think this was taken closer to noon. Just beautiful colors. I think it's just great as is. I love that picture.
Yeah,
Nicely
I won't
done.
change
Give that
anything.
one a pick too. And look at the 5 stars
Well,
for you
Wow.
because
thank
you loved it. A beautiful landscape. But again, it's needing some sort of focal point, I feel. There's just not, it just needs that one extra thing. I think compositionally you could add a little to it by maybe cropping it to the rule of thirds, because you've almost got the horizon dead center, but not quite. It's a little bit above it. So at that point, I think you might as well just push it all the way to the rule of thirds.
I love the colors.
You know, when you can't find another focal point, the sun makes a good focal point. So sometimes we'll just put the sun right in the frame. The sun will add a bunch of flare to your lens and just add some visual interest. It just needs something to draw your eye right to it. That's a gorgeous picture. I feel like the two focal points are the setting sun and the Hollywood sign. And I almost want to push them closer to the edges of the frame because we have so much just kind of negative space here that are not the focal point. So I know I crop things all the time, but it's one of the few things compositionally we can really do. I do think it's a great spot. Just going a little more telephoto might have helped.
Cool.
Yeah, black and white is a good choice for this because the original shot didn't really have much color. There just was no color in the original subject, so I like that idea. I think a square crop might work on this one a little bit too. Yeah, there's a little too much contrast in it. There's this big foreground section that's just completely black and isn't adding anything to the picture because it's just all black. Going more telephoto on this might have helped, but of course you're using an iPhone. So what are you going to do? I think they did a pretty great job for using an iPhone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need a fancy camera, but a zoom lens sure helps, and I wish somebody would make...
Wow.
Was there... Oh, I thought it was cropped.
Whoa. Wait, this needs some... This is a little dark.
Yeah, snow always ends up a little underexposed, so you always want to make sure there's a hot spot, that the snow is almost completely overexposed. Maybe we make it a little cooler. Yeah, I think it feels natural to us
I'm
to
going
see
to do
snow a little
gradient
bit
filters
blue.
again. I'm all about those
Okay.
today. So maybe cool it here.
And you're brightening that sky? Oh, you don't need to do that. Oh, I see. So there's not a lot of color in the original picture, so I see what you're doing. You're adding some color to it. You're actually warming the sky up a little bit, cooling down the foreground.
Just slight difference, just kind of brightening up a little bit.
Yeah, the subject itself I find really compelling because the storytelling is just...
Oh, don't trim that thing in the front.
I just wanted to
No.
try it.
No.
No? All right. Well, I think we just proved that Chelsea can be wrong sometimes.
I'm wrong all the time, but we don't have to rub it in.
Gorgeous shot. They did follow the rule of thirds, and I think it works well here. Gorgeous colors, and I like the reflection of it. Nice. I don't know that there's too much that
You're
can be
gonna
done
give
to
it a pick? P.
P.
P for pick.
P for pick.
Lovely.
A beautiful shot of Glacier Point. I guess this must be in Montana. Yeah, I'll agree with that. The sky took up most of the picture, but the focal point is clearly the mountains, and I think it depends how large you were printing.
I don't know. This is also good. For me, it's just
The balance is off just a little bit because we have that strip of water in the bottom. I even thought about just cropping the water out because the water's not adding a whole lot. It's just kind of gray.
well.
You could add some color
what part
to
of
it.
it is. I think it's this gray matte on Lightroom.
Oh yeah,
Because it's
I forget
actually
the shortcut for changing that.
Yeah,
Maybe
I do
if you
too.
select soft proofing, that would change it. Yeah.
There you go. That looks a lot better. I think that was part of it, that it was throwing off the way the composition looked because the gray was blending into gray.
But I also think that changing the adding a little color down here, making this a little blue would help. And I just want to propose a different crop. I'm not sure it's going to work, but
Justin watches me damage my mic like 5 times a day.
all right. Just
Oh my gosh, it's almost 6 o'clock. Can you guys believe it? Siobhan, tell me a question, quick. Where's my
I don't do anything quick.
Siobhan, please. Just one time. I need you.
Is Machu Picchu too scary for people with fear of heights?
Not the. Oh.
Ah.
Actually, yeah.
I would say if you were afraid of heights, the bus ride there is terrifying if you're
Yeah.
afraid of heights.
Yeah.
You are just right at the edge and looking down, and
But
then
once you got up there, if you close your eyes on the bus, once you got there, you'd be fine.
there are
No.
lots of places on the hike where it's just scary.
Yeah, Machu Picchu Mountain was scary, but the actual just Machu Picchu part itself.
There were definitely times when you're forced to walk along a very narrow pathway with other people, and you are right on the edge. There were definitely times when I thought
I
one
made
little
people
slip.
walk on the outside because I was like, I am not dying today. That's inconsiderate, but true.
Yeah, I don't know how many people die from falling at
I
Machu
Googled
Picchu.
it, and not many.
I don't know how that could be because I felt like I was so close to dying
They probably
hiking
just
up that mountain.
shoo the dead bodies under a rock somewhere so they don't know. What else, Siobhan?
We haven't done the poll results yet.
Poll
Oh.
results.
Yeah,
What else,
I forgot
Siobhan?
we had that. Did you hear that? My voice just did like something it hasn't done since I was 15.
Someone said earlier that your voice cracked. It had something to do with Chelsea, and I don't remember what, but it was funny. Good story, Siobhan. Tony, what was your first digital camera?
It was a Canon 10D. It was an APS-C camera. It was one of the first ones in.
Mine was a Rebel T3i.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Still a good camera. I still recommend the T3i to people. Nobody recommends the 10D. It was terrible.
People just recommended other, but where can we see?
Yeah, I let people throw in their own contributions, and
India.
India seems to be the number one result.
Alaska.
With
Let's go to Alaska.
number 2, and then an African safari, number 3. Hawaii, of course, incredibly photogenic. Iceland, we've been talking about for
We've
this
been
fall,
talking about
very
going
specifically.
this fall to Iceland.
2 people chose Middle Earth. That was an other suggestion, so I think they must have manually typed that. Maybe they mean New Zealand. New Zealand, which is also on our very short list.
I never leave home.
Albany. I feel like somebody who lives in Albany suggested that because
No,
I've
I've been to Albany.
been to Albany.
It's beautiful. Well, that's Albany, Oregon.
Oh, Albany, Oregon. Oh, I thought Albany, New York, which is just not a
Lovely.
tourist destination.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Lofton, Norway. I'd like to go to Norway. New Zealand. Can get a chili bin. They'll know what I'm talking about. Santorini.
Rome. I had such a...
Space.
Oh,
Actually,
I
Tony
know.
does want to go to space,
I talk about
but
space
let's not get him
all
started.
the time.
Tivoli.
Tivoli's... Well, we've seen Tivoli Fountain. I don't think we've actually visited
Tivoli Garden? Or is that
It must be a
an
town.
amusement park in Copenhagen? I think it is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking of. Never mind.
I don't think that's what they're
Siobhan,
talking
what
about.
else?
It is a great amusement park.
Well,
Oh no, that plane again.
what is the furthest you've ever traveled for photography?
Japan,
Yeah, I think Japan.
which was like how many hours straight? Like 20, like 30 hours of traveling or something like that.
Yeah, it was a long trip. I'm going to take a moment and just log into my own Squarespace account here and update my portfolio and just show you how easy it is to do because Squarespace is an awesome way, a little bit drunk, to show off your pictures and make them look great. So I hit escape and logged in, and now I'll just hit pages and select my portfolio page here.
That's me.
And right away you can see all these pictures, and I'll click the plus sign to add an image. And you can see they work with stock images now, so you don't even have to take pictures. You can just use Getty stock images. That's for people. You can use Squarespace to host a website for your law firm or your restaurant or whatever, any type of website. And so Getty Images in there is very convenient.
Okay.
We, of course, are actual photographers, so we would only use our own pictures.
Yeah, I'm a real photographer.
Where is my new panorama? Here it is. So I selected it. You can also just drop it in. It's too large.
I knew that was going to happen. I felt bad. I was going to tell you, but.
So I will just add in a different picture. And it uploads it. You can.
What's your title going to be?
Peru.
Oh. The whole gang.
And it's uploading.
Siobhan, can we go cut to Siobhan's
Yeah, we should definitely cut to
now?
Siobhan's camera whenever something funny is
from
happening.
The dog has like a glass of wine or something. I just saw like 30 kids walk by. It's like something out of an after-school. This is why I love watching.
The way the kid looked over.
And the dog always. This is why I love watching Siobhan's screen.
Guys, everyone just got home from the grocery store. It's chaos.
That's really funny. I love that.
Okay, so I added this new picture in, and now I can just choose where in the layout I want it to go. I'll just drop it in here as a second one. And then bam, I can just instantly preview.
What is on Hungry's face?
He usually carries around a big empty jug of almond milk.
That's really weird. Okay, bring him over. Sorry, I'm interrupting your tutorial. Bring him over after. That's so weird.
And so that's it. I've added a new picture to my portfolio.
That was
My
exciting.
Squarespace portfolio. And so now look how easy it is. There's my new picture. It works on mobile devices just perfectly with absolutely no sweat. Everything looks beautiful. You have a variety of different templates, so your website does not have to look like mine. And beautiful analytics, so you can see exactly which pages people look at and use that to fine-tune your portfolio. Every site comes with a store, so you can see I have a buy prints link here. You can log right in and buy.
I just changed mine the other day too.
Oh, you updated your portfolio?
Yeah, always. I really like doing it.
Chelsea's portfolio is chelseanorthrop.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can see her website looks nothing like mine.
No,
you can
different.
individualize your website without knowing HTML or anything. And you can see she has a new picture of a llama there.
I actually want to
not a
change
llama, it's a guau something.
It's a llama.
Somebody said it was not a llama.
Yeah, they're wrong. It's a llama.
Oh, all right.
I want to change my layout though because you can't zoom in on the pictures. So, Siobhan, can I see your milk jug dog?
I was wrong. This time he has an empty peanut butter container. When we're out of peanut butter, I give him the container so he can try and lick all of the remaining peanut butter off.
I thought he had
sides.
a cup because it was just over his little face. He's so cute.
You can hear him breathing in it like Darth Vader.
If you like Siobhan's dog or Darth Vader, go to squarespace.com/Tony and you get 14-day free trial, no credit card required. If you decide to sign up and you want 10% off, who doesn't? Use the coupon code PHOTONEWS. We don't get paid. It just lets Squarespace know that these ads work and it helps keep our show going. So appreciate you doing that. Let's go over some comments.
Oh, chit chat. I can't believe my favorite segment. I'm so late in the game. Let's do this. Hey, Tony, is that really you?
Yes.
That was hard. Hi, Tony. Did you read the DPR review low light AF test?
Yeah, I just wanted to follow up because so many people asked me about it. We did a low light AF test with the Sony zoom lens against Nikon and a zoom lens, and we found that the Sony failed to focus at a certain point and the Nikon would continue to focus. DP Review kind of repeated the test, but they used the Sony 35mm f1.4 prime, and they found that it focused at much lower light levels and did as well or even better than the DSLRs. I will say that I just wanted to point out they used a 35 millimeter prime on the Sony and then a 50 millimeter prime on the Canon and Nikon. And
What did you use?
I just used 2 zooms at the same focal length and the same f-stop. But the fact that they use different f-stops kind of invalidates it for me, because the 50 millimeters is much harder to focus at than 35 millimeters.
Yeah.
It's just always harder to focus a more telephoto lens. The depth of field is shallower. It's just more work for the camera. So I don't know why they changed the focal length, but I did repeat the test at 50 millimeters with the 55 millimeter f1.8 and a Nikon 50 millimeter f1.8. So very close focal lengths. And I actually found that the Sony a7R II failed at exactly the same point. There was no place when the Sony focused and the Nikon didn't, or the Nikon focused and the Sony didn't. They both did pretty well in low light using the fast primes.
Okay.
So I just wanted to follow up.
Are the brother and sister? Can't tell. Well,
No, none of us are related. Now people think that you and Justin are siblings.
yeah, Justin's my bro.
I'm having a hard time seeing that resemblance. Oh.
Holy shit. No one needs that much gear visiting Machu Picchu. We get so many, we did a video on what we packed to go to Machu Picchu, and we get so many comments saying that we didn't need this and we didn't need that. Like, first of all, how do you know my needs? Secondly, it's our job. We have to bring more gear. We were also shooting a travel show while we were there. We make a lot of videos. We do a lot of tutorials. We have to bring sound equipment. We always bring backup gear because we cannot afford to take a business trip and come back without pictures. So yeah, we carry a lot of gear. I know that, but we need it.
Yeah, we have to be able to proof our shots to make sure that we got the shot.
I showed your picture too, just to
Yeah, just like this is why, because we got this, and you would not have gotten that with your point and shoot camera.
I love this. Very awkward chemistry on screen. I feel like a kid walking in on my parents fighting. Super uncomfortable. Here's what you need. A Weekend to Remember by Family Life. The best thing my wife and I ever did. We work together in business too, so we understand. Go. It will change your lives. I actually think he was trying to be really nice, but
He is helpful. He had a good experience. He clearly had some bad experiences with working with his wife, and then he had a good experience at this getaway.
well, I think a lot of people, I think everyone has marital problems at one point or another. There's nothing wrong with that. You work through them, but we don't right now. So it's really funny when people, I don't know, they just see things that aren't there.
Yeah, they often project things on us. It happens constantly. It just
And this
cracks us
person
up.
did too. Does he beat his wife or something? She looks so depressed. What? Siobhan said if she's depressed, it's because she has to field idiotic comments like this every time they put out a video, which is absolutely true. That's so weird. Like, I don't get it. Why do I have to smile all the time or else I'm depressed?
It's Kelly Ripa. People see Kelly Ripa, who's just always beaming, and they think anything less than Kelly Ripa must be just deep depression or marital problems.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you just got to start doing Kelly Ripa mounds of cocaine.
Yeah.
That's the way she gets that
No,
happy.
don't say that about Kelly.
Yeah, she does a lot of coke.
No. What, Siobhan?
I just cannot fathom why people think you would be like super pumped to film a 5-minute video about like what's in your bag. Like, how enthusiastic are you supposed to be about that?
Well, and you know what else is weird is they like this is maybe this job has made me more aware of the behind the scenes, but like in that video where the guy said we didn't have chemistry, we had to film 3 videos before going to Machu Picchu, and we had to get them done for you and Justin to edit, so you had work while we were gone. So if anything, we were just hyper focused because we had so much work to do. But then they read into it like marital problems and Tony's beating me. It's all very dramatic and weird.
Yeah, you would behave that day.
Tony, that's not, spousal abuse is not funny.
Okay.
The end.
What time is it? Is it time to leave?
It's 6:10
Oh,
and we're
we gotta
late.
go.
That's
But
Bill Peppas' photo. I just wanted to say I love Bill Peppas.
I love Bill Peppas.
yeah, look at that photo. The sky is gorgeous. Could that be real? Is
I
that?
don't think so, because see how it meets the horizon?
Yeah, it might be a comp. I also wonder if some of that might just be noise and not stars. But I don't know. Either way, I think it's a gorgeous photo. Sometimes we overanalyze stuff.
That's okay. That's our job. My advice to you, Bill, because I've comped in stars before, let them fade away from the horizon a little bit more, which I can see that you did. And it also can help if they're not sharper than your foreground subject. Oh yeah, you can see that it's hard to do that. But yeah.
Yeah, the stars they fade out as you get closer because you're looking through more atmosphere as you're looking closer.
Yeah,
to
as
the
you're closer to
horizon.
the horizon.
So it's
this,
always going to get faded out.
there really
and
shouldn't
we know
be
you're at sea
stars.
level. You're
Yeah.
not on a mountain.
And there's a
something.
city here too.
Yeah.
Bill, this picture is awesome.
It is.
I just want to say that.
Just to make it more natural.
Just to make it more natural, just fade it in a little bit more.
Let's just, before we head out, let's just look and see if anything else really strikes us. This picture strikes me.
Let's go through all of them really quick, just rapid fire.
Okay, rapid fire review.
Great.
Gorgeous colors. I'll let you drive. Beautiful. Could use a focal point.
I like it.
I like this one a
I
lot.
love it.
It really struck me.
Ooh, that's
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Somebody walking there would provide a sense of scale.
Yeah, but this is landscape.
Okay.
Fabulous.
Get down lower, show some depth. Beautiful sky.
Not a landscape.
Yeah.
Wow.
Long exposure with a super
brighten those
17
whites a
millimeter
little.
wide angle lens. I love the way it looks. Beautiful use of symmetry.
Love it. Oh, I love the reflection.
Yeah, very nice. Yeah, just needs a focal point, something in the foreground. Maybe go black and white in that one.
Yeah.
Black and white in this one might work too.
Ooh, excellent.
Footsteps or a heart or
Whoa.
something in the sand would be nice.
This
Needs a
bring up
little
the
bit of a
whites.
crop. Don't like the
Saw
frame.
it.
Watch the vignetting. Yeah,
Lovely.
gorgeous picture.
That's where my wine comes from.
I don't like the sepia toning on that one, but I love the reflection and the unusual crop on that one, the unusual composition.
A little more contrast. Wow.
Too much.
Too much machi.
Yeah. Watch this transition of the sky. Use a graduated filter to
Wow,
blend the
look at
sky
those
in and
clouds.
not a hard selection.
Lovely clouds.
Giving that one a pick before you move on. Oh, it needs a sailboat going up the river. It just needs one other thing.
There's no sailing. That's a no sailing zone.
A little more contrast to it,
light.
a little more pop. Yeah, clouds,
The golden hour.
sunset, come back in
Damn,
sunset.
run for your
wow,
life.
5
Run for your
stars and a
life.
pick. That is
I'm
spectacular.
gonna give that a pick again.
You just need a cow being pulled up
Yes.
into it.
Send that to me. I can Photoshop a cow in for you. Needs better light. I like that. It looks like wallpaper. A wallpaper.
Beautiful.
Very interesting. Lovely.
Nice that you got next to the water.
Lovely. Be careful. Your mom loves you.
Please clone out all hipsters.
Why is this child alone at the park? Call the police. Lovely.
What is that person bringing?
Is that the Google person?
We did see the Google person at Machu Picchu. He's got like a massage table, I think. It looked like a massage table.
That's weird.
Beautiful use of symmetry and reflections. Nicely done.
Bop.
Crop it so that the sun is a compositional element, like that.
Tony, why are you saying bop? That's
Bop
weird.
callback. Very nice. An inside joke that only Justin and I would get.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, beautiful.
Lovely. Love it.
I like the people
Wow.
in the foreground.
I like this.
Getting
5
down
stars.
even lower could help.
Great.
Needs some more detail in the sky.
Too much sharpening,
Needs
but
a
good.
focal point.
Wow, lots of sky.
I like that one too, yeah.
That's interesting.
Oh,
this is
that's
lovely.
gorgeous.
I'm gonna give that 5 stars.
Yeah, that one's really nice.
Spooky, but
Too
I love
much
it.
land in the foreground, too much negative space.
It's not really a landscape.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice use of framing. Feels
5
like
stars.
Montana to me.
I want to be there.
Yes, that's fantastic. Give you a pick just for going all the way out there. I bet it was cold.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice.
Needs dehaze.
Stirs.
Beautiful sky. Looks like a meteor shower there. Love the color.
Too much saturation.
Yeah, it's a beautiful picture. Just too much editing. Some light painting. Not really a landscape, but nice nonetheless.
Go during better light.
Yeah, you just need something else.
You got it. You got it.
Get nice clouds in the background. It will just
Yeah.
add that bit of pop that you need. Maybe a horse and
Light
buggy
has
going
been a
up the
common
street.
problem. You want that, early morning light or sunset light.
Yeah, or an interesting sky, or including the sun in the
Brighten that
sky.
up. Oh, they did your sun thing. Looks nice.
Yeah, kind of. Level that horizon.
Oh, level that. That's how we roll. I want to go here, so tell me where that is. Cars, place, gun.
I like that kind of a still life. I like that a lot.
Yeah. A baby.
Great reflections.
Brighten it up a little.
That one's really nice too. I like that extreme wide angle of that last lighthouse shot.
Whoa, that's awesome. 5 stars.
Yeah, they got a little starburst there. That's
not a
definitely not a landscape. This is a landscape.
Very cool.
It's very nice.
Wow, we have a lot. Nice. Good.
Needs something.
Cool.
Pretty. Needs some extra contrast, I think. Needs a focal point. Great cityscape. Not really a landscape. With the cowboys, I would get down a little bit lower and have them breaking the horizon more.
That's it.
Really nice shot, Nico.
Okay.
Okay, sorry we had to leave early today. We don't have time to go through everything. Thank you for joining us. Next week, it's black and white.
Next week is black and white. All right, let's go. What?
Oh, I was just going to go to the example picture. Okay, next week is black and white. Join us every Thursday at 5 o'clock. Thank you, Squarespace, to our sponsors. You can go to squarespace.com/Tony if you want to sign up. Use the coupon code PHOTONEWS for 10% off. Thank you for joining us, Siobhan and Hungry on the stairs.
Nice.
As always, thank you,
He's like,
Justin, for working all the complicated gear.
Justin, thank you for letting me borrow your Hanson album.
You're welcome.
All right. See you guys next week.
See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
That was
get that?
perfect.
Tell me.
On.
That is all.